morning and welcome to Wednesday, the 7th of October. The birds make a heap of noise, although it's overcast again today, and it's not going to be a good day for a bike ride. But some sad news, Eddie Van Halen passed away overnight. What an amazing guitarist. Also an amazing keyboard player too. But yeah, a bit of sad news, Eddie passed away. Having worked in a guitar shop, man, as a guitarist, you didn't play Stairway to Heaven. As a piano player, you didn't play Fur Elise. And as a synth player, you didn't play Jump by Van Halen. Anyway, rest in peace, Eddie. Today, we are going to have a coffee, so let's go. We're back to double shots, which is good. Quick one before we get into our topic. Hope you enjoyed the science experiment yesterday. It was a bit of fun. So just an update on the taste. Yeah, when it comes out, because it is so much hotter, the flavour is so much more intense, even though it was really hot and very, hard to drink. You got to wait for it to cool down. But just after it, once it cooled down and I had a chance to really try it, yeah, everything settled down. The flavour was really good. So, still, like everything, you can change the grind and all that sort of stuff, and that would change the flavour of the coffee. But an interesting one, so I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed learning how to do it. It's not one of those things you can quickly make a coffee, but we're going to do it today. So back to double shots today. But following on from yesterday, science experiment. What was that subject at school you loved or you hated? I mean, I don't know about you, going through school, I actually didn't really like history or geography. Had no, I suppose, what's the word? There was nothing that really interested me about those subjects. Having said that, now as I'm older, I'm really interested in those things. So why wasn't I interested back then? I really enjoyed music. That was a subject that I really loved. But growing up in the early 80s, music wasn't one of those cool subjects, so you had to play sport. From a male perspective, you had to play sport. Physics I enjoyed, maths I enjoyed, English I didn't really like. But geography and history, things that I just didn't get into. And I wonder why that is. See, like in some ways, chemistry, there's another one, biology. See, chemistry, what we're sort of doing today, making coffee and working out the brew times and the blends, is actually a bit of chemistry going on. And so maybe we should have done coffee making in chemistry, maybe even wine making. There's a lot of chemistry involved in that. But back then, there was nothing that really interested me in it. History. I love World War I, World War II stuff. And if there's something on a documentary, I'd love to watch it. I'm very interested in it. But I think one of the books that we read and what we studied in history was All Quiet on the Western Front, which is from World War I. But I had no interest in it back then. I had no interest in learning it, but it really fascinates me now. Maybe because there was no direct connection between the history and my life. So we never went, I don't know about you, we never went to visit, all the war memorials. We never went to, say, an RSL and spoke to people who were in those wars. That in some ways I would put a human face, heard their stories, listened, to their stories, seen pictures that they had. See, history was just something on the pages of a book that didn't have anything to do with my life. Whereas music, on the other hand, was part of my life. And so the pages of the book didn't really interest me. It was actually getting out and doing it. Chemistry, if it had been about, the roasting of coffee beans and how it changes and the making of wine and the whole process that goes to doing that, then hey, probably would have been into that. Don't know how the school would have liked us making wine, but I tell you what, the actual whole process would have taught us chemistry, would have taught us, principles of those sorts of things. So, how about for you? What were the subjects that you loved or hated? make sure you put your comments down below. I love actually reading your comments. I try and answer your comments or respond to your comments when I see them. And certainly on Saturdays is when I try and get to all your comments. But put them down below. I'd love to hear from you. Let me encourage you on yesterday's one, if you've never done, I saw a comment this morning from Janelle, and shout out to you, Janelle, that she's never seen a siphon coffin before. It actually does look a bit crazy, but it's not too bad. It actually is pretty easy to do. It's just not quick like this one. Anyway, we're done for the day. As I always say, life's too short to drink bad coffee, so get yourself a good coffee. But I'm going to add to that today, just in light of the passing of Eddie Van Halen, who was only, I think, in his 50s, mid-50s. Life is short, life's fragile. One day you're here, next day you're not. So make sure you enjoy your days. Don't let it slip by. I've got tattooed on my arm, Carpe Diem, seize the day. Live while you're alive. Make sure you get yourself a good coffee. Enjoy the day, even though it's overcast and maybe raining. Enjoy your day, get yourself a good coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow.